What's up, guys? My name is Helmsy. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to talk about something that I haven't seen a lot of YouTube videos about. I haven't seen a lot of people post YouTube videos about. It's keybinding in World of Warcraft. You know your abilities, you know what they do, but you don't know a great way to keybind. I've still seen people clicking, keyboard turning, and using 1 through 10 for their abilities in a bit of a different way than what I'm going to explain today. So what we're going to talk about is just how to keybind, like an add-on that's really good for keybinding, my personal suggestions to you when you're keybinding, and then finally some macros that I find are helpful for me. Not necessarily for keybinding, but I believe all of them are focus target macros that I use here on the Outlaw Rogue. So let's hop into it, guys. Alright, guys, so to start things off, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that this is the add-on that I have used since, I want to say, Wrath? I've used this since Wrath. I don't think it was Bartender 4, I think it was just Bartender. I know another popular one that I used before that, and I think a little bit during Wrath, was called Dominoes. I'm not sure how they're doing, I'm not sure if that's still a thing. But Bartender 4, tried and true, it's an amazing one. Super easy, so if you want to move your bars around, you just left click on it, and then you can move your bars around however you'd like to move them. If you want to keybind, you right click, hit keybinds, and then it'll, anything you do, so say I wanted to change this from shift 3 to something else, which I'm not going to, all you do is hover it, it says shift 3 right now, you hit exit, and then you can put in your new keybind by still hovering it, and then just pressing whatever button it is. So all I did was hold shift and hit 3, and it reassigned shift 3 to it. So it's an extremely good add-on. I would suggest it to anybody, and it actually has 10 bars on it that you can use. You can customize them by increasing the size of them, by increasing the padding of them, the buttons, all kinds of stuff. It's fully customizable. It's great. So let's go ahead and we're going to talk about the way that you should keybind. So me personally, the way that I like to keybind is I actually have my movement keys different than most of my other keys. Move forward for me is E. Instead of using WASD, I use ESDF. I move it all over to the right one key, just because it opens up your your amount of buttons that you can press simply, like with ease, which I find is really good. So for me, I always do my main abilities. Let's head over here. I always do my main abilities being Saber Slash and Run Through on this character. For an example, on a mage, say Frost Mage, I would have Frostbolt and Ice Lance. Frostbolt would be my W because it's my filter spell, and my R would be Ice Lance. Same thing, Fireball, Polymorph. I don't play that many classes, so I can't think of other ones. For Monk, it would be Jab and Tiger's Lust, or in this case with the new patch, it would be Tiger's Lust. What am I thinking? Tiger Palm. Tiger Palm would be on the W as of the new patch because you don't have Jab anymore, and then your R would be Blackout Kick, or I guess you could do Rising Sun Kick. But anyway, that's how I like to do it because they're easy to reach. They're just above your S and F keys, which are your movement keys. The other thing I would suggest, I almost forgot about this. Don't have turn, even bounce. I don't do turn. Do strafe, because strafe allows you to combo it with your mouse to turn, and it's a lot easier, and it just feels a lot better. And just it might be a pain to get used to all this stuff at first, but trust me, it will be worth it. You will love it, and you'll never look back to your old way of doing things. So for me, I have a Razer Naga, meaning I have 12 buttons on the side of my mouse that I've used for, again, since about Wrath. For PvP, they're amazing. So like if I want to go invisible, I just shift 5 and it puts me invisible. The reason that I have it at shift 5 is it's not an ability that I use enough to put somewhere that's just a single click button, like on my T or my G or my BC, QX, anything like that. It's just something that I use every once in a while, and I can spam it if need be, in case I'm trying to get a re-stealth in a battleground or something like that. But the way that I do my opener, and my opener is a little bit weird because I say weird. It's normal. It's just the way that the keys that I press are a bit weird, especially if you don't have the Naga or anything with buttons on the side. So I do March for Death into Roll the Bones into Cheap Shot followed by Ghostly Strike. So what this does is it gives me a 4-second stun, or sorry, I started in the wrong place. It gives me 5 combo points followed by giving me some random buff or 2. Followed by the 4-second stun, followed by an increase of 10% damage. Now, what is this for me? This is 5, 1, and then whenever you get close, Y, C, and that'll do it for you. So that's the opener that I use, and for me, that's really comfortable. Now, what I also do is, so for pistol shot is my T, because pistol shot is something that I use quite commonly, and so I like to use it, or so I like to put it somewhere that I can remember it easily, and that I don't have to stretch my fingers to get it. Same thing with between the eye. Between the eye for me is G, and then if I want to do a focus target between the eyes, we're gonna have to wait 16 seconds, and then I'll do a focus target between the eyes. Until then, I'm going to talk to you about what I like to do for my other cooldowns. I say cooldown. Healing cooldowns, I always put on 6. So 6, shift 6 for Hellstone. Damage mitigation, I usually like to do, for Feint, I do 4. And then for, like, Repost, I believe is how you say that, I do shift 2, you know, Adrenaline Rush, shift 3, all that stuff. I like to put my cooldowns, the things that I only use once every couple of minutes, or once every minute, or, you know, not too often. I like to throw those on shift commands, you know, between 1 and 10. Usually between probably 1 and 3, just because those are the most easy to reach from my hand, because, you know, reaching up on the mouse is a little bit easier than the ladder, you know, reaching down. So anyway, here, I'll shoot this guy a couple times here. So now that I have 5, I'm targeting him. If I want to target, or he's my focus. That one's my focus. I did that, and I'll explain a macro that I like to use for that here in just a second. It's right there. You know, in Arena, if you just right-click on the person's tag up here, it'll go ahead and add them. But I like to do, I like to actually have it macroed for like in BGs and stuff like that, so that I can have a focus target and a kill target. So anyway, so I'm full, well, I was before I started talking a bunch. So I'm targeting him, and this is another really easy one. If you hold Shift G, I just shot him. So I've just stunned him and got him out of the fight for a 5-second duration, which I could follow up, and it's gonna break almost immediately because this guy's hitting. But I could follow up with a blind. If I just hit 3, that's my focus blind. Z is my target blind, so if I want to blind him, I hit Z. If I want to blind him, I hit 3. Same thing with sap. If I want to sap him, if I was invisible, it'd be 9. If I want to sap him, it's shift 9. Gouge, I have my if I want to blind hit or gouge him, it's gonna be 2. If I want to gouge him, it's gonna be 7. So even though I have him focused, even though I have him targeted, he's my focus. I hit 7. It gouges him immediately, taking him out of the fight for 4 seconds, as long as he doesn't take any damage. So it's to me, it's crucial to have your CCs. They have to be in a really comfortable spot. You have to have your focus CCs down really well. So to take it another step, don't necessarily focus on what I do for my keybinds, because I probably have a different setup than you. You might not have a Razer Naga, or if you do have a Razer Naga, you might not have I have a Black Widow keyboard. I'm sure you can hear it anytime I move or do anything like that. It's a great keyboard, I love it, it's really loud, and it kind of, you know, you can hear it in the recordings. But the thing with it is that it has a little bit more spaced out keys than a lot of keyboards, just because it's mechanical, and so the feel of it's a little bit different. I used a different keyboard, and I had to change up some of my key bindings because some things weren't as comfortable to reach. Some things were more comfortable to reach, stuff like that. So whatever fits you best, you know, mess around with it and get to know your feel for the game, and get to know your feel for all your abilities, where you think you'd like them to be, because it does make a huge difference, to be perfectly honest. Key binding changed me from, I want to say, just an everyday player, you know, somebody that you wouldn't bat an eye to being a decent PvPer, and it's been a lot of fun. You know, it's so fun just being able to do things like that. You know, you're on this guy, you know, you're hitting this guy, somebody else comes up, and you stun him immediately. It's just something fun to do. And then say he trinkets that, you immediately get him in a blind, and then out of that you get him in a gouge. So that's a ton of CC right there, and it's just so much fun to do, and really fun to watch people get upset about it. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for the keybinds. One thing that I will share with you guys. I'll share my set focus macro just because I find that it's really nice. I like using it. It's by no means, you know, it's not, you're not going to use it in all walks of life, I guess. You know, you're not really going to use it in a lot of PvE if you're into that. You're not going to use it in arena all that much, just because, you know, you can right click on the person's tile up here and it's going to set them as your focus. But here it is. It's just slash focus and then at mouse over exist, meaning if I hover somebody and then I was already focusing him, but if I hover somebody and then hit shift space, it'll do it. Also, if I have him here and I want to set him to it, I don't have to be hovered over him. I can just do it over his tile. Same thing if somebody's in my party or somebody's on the other team. You can just shift space and it'll put him on your focus, which I find really good. And then I'll give you my 3 focus targets here. So the way that you can do this is just simply whatever you want to put here can be the same exact as this, except just change this word to, you know, polymorph. Something like that. So pretty much what this is saying is that it wants you to cast blind at the focus target as long as he exists. If he doesn't exist, it's going to go at the target. And then show tooltip is pretty much, it makes it a live tile, meaning it shows the cooldown and it shows the what blind is, what blind does, essentially. It shows the same as if I drug blind up here and placed it here, except with a little bit of background functionality, I guess. Next one is just gouge, followed by sap, and then followed by between the eyes. They're super simple macros, and you might have to create another one, or, you know, figure something else out if you do threes more often. Personally, I haven't done threes. Whenever I start threes, which will be soon, because the guy that just messaged me is Ulfus the Pharaoh Druid, and we're probably going to get into some threes here eventually. So I'll have to learn some stuff. You know, it'll be an experience. It'll be a lot of fun, I think. But whenever that happens, I'll probably come back with another little key binding guide or another, you know, threes arena guide or something like that. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Keep in mind, I am still learning this whole new class to me. I'm loving Outlaw Rogue so much right now. It's a lot of fun. And again, I'll say it. Thank you for watching and have a good one.